Pataky, and I want to welcome you to my next retreat with Fiorella and Max, which all three of us run these beautiful retreats that become so magical and healing for individuals. And so I'm here in one of our retreats, in one of our last days, as we've had individuals being able to start really connecting with each other and really allowing themselves to start opening up their hearts and being able to start working through a lot of the things that we've been working with, which one of the things has been a lot of the inner child work, which means you really start connecting to a lot of your childhood memories, being able to start letting go of some of the traumas throughout childhood, along with being able to start connecting to the creativity, the power that there is within this very powerful energy that you have as a child, which is all about like creating. It's all about curiosity. It's all about like really wanting to connect to life and to your purpose with a lot of passion behind it. So I'm really hoping that you want to come out for the next retreat and really be able to start doing some of your work, because it really starts allowing you to flow throughout your life a lot more easily, not just in your relationships but also at work, and being able to really start connecting to like what your life purpose is. So if you're really ready to start working on yourself and you're committed, I look forward to seeing you in my next retreat. Thanks. At the retreat, you will begin your day with Fiorella, moving and learning how to mindfully connect with your body. Then we'll go into our daily lecture with Max Riv and myself in a series of conversations and teachings which will help you cognitively understand the role of our inner child and its unmet needs. You will see how this affects us today in the way that we love ourselves and our partners. We'll dive deep into intimacy, relationships, sexuality, authenticity, and love. We will be helping you realign your life's purpose and help guide you to create the work and life you deserve. Each day, we will also incorporate breathwork, which is a transformative modality that has the power to heal us at our deepest core. A breathwork session will explore one of our most innate and commonly ignored tools as human beings, our breath. Using a bioenergetic breathing technique, breathwork will explore and teach us how to influence mental, emotional, and physical states through conscious control of your breath. A typical breathwork session will generally run approximately 50 minutes and involve deep, rhythmic, rapid breathing. On a physiological level, breathwork will increase your body's capacity to gather, process, and deliver more oxygen to your body. This essentially allows us to release more carbon dioxide from our bodies, causing our blood to become more alkaline and retain more oxygen. Physical sensations can range from tingles or to a full-blown rebirthing experience. Plus, your entire body may vibrate, shake, or even experience tetany, which is a type of cramp developed through the rhythmic breathing session. At an emotional level, breathwork will help you release blocked and repressed negative emotions, some of which you may not even be aware of. Breathwork is completely safe and also incredibly transformational and healing. At a psychological level, breathwork will help you push past your fears and tap into your inner self. A breathwork session can be an incredibly profound spiritual experience. Conscious rhythmic breathing also allows us to create electrical activity in the brain, enhancing emotional judgments and memory recall. On rapid inhale, we are essentially activating our amygdala, which is the emotional response system in the brain designed to help us face fear and dangerous situations. The amygdala's activation also helps us to enter states of flow and creativity, allowing improved motivation and positivity in our lives. Overall, breathwork helps individuals redefine how we connect our mind and bodies. Fully connecting to oneself and our world at a richer level is perhaps the greatest part of the human experience. During the retreat, you'll also have an opportunity to share, connect with others, journal, and process your experience and teachings throughout the day. Food is also provided, and in-home lodging may also be available. We'll have various activities designed to challenge you, but we'll also celebrate life through fun, play, and dance.
Hi, well, my name is Fiorella, and I am the creator of Munay Medicine. And Munay means love in the Quechua language from the Incas from Peru, where I'm originally from. And this technique is all about love. So I hope you guys move from a space of love, from your heart, following your inner compass, so that you can release, you can open, you can expand, and you can access the energetics of your body through your physical body.
Hi, my name is Max. Welcome to the retreat. I wanted to go ahead and welcome you all to exploring a little bit about the work that I do, along with what you might be receiving from the retreat. This is very different from your standard spiritual retreat in the sense that you're not necessarily going to be going into deities or going into some spiritual realm. There is a lot of content that you're actually going to be receiving from here. It's combining the psychotherapeutic world along with some bioenergetic work that has empirical evidence that really allows for you to connect your mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to be bringing in certain energies and certain things that will help really bring in the masculine part of our bodies for both males and females, to truly understand that perspective and allow for you to connect to it and start bringing that awareness. So I'm also going to be working a lot with purpose and passion. I'm going to be sharing a lot of insight into some of the stories and some of the ideas that we build around our society and how we start incorporating that into the pressures and the incongruence behind what we want to do in our life, in our world, and have the type of love that we want in our relationships and our work versus the life that we actually live in, which is very different sometimes than than when we make it out to be. So kind of realigning a lot of that work will really help establish sort of a new presence and a new format for you to start exploring your world and the type of relationship that you want, the type of work that you can create.
We have so many negative misconceptions that don't allow us to connect. And it all starts with ourselves. It starts with us. It starts with that inner child. Okay, and that's why it was so important yesterday to carry you through the inner child. Okay, and it takes a long time for people to get to yes, taking care of my inner child. Oh, I forgot again. Oh, yep, go back. How do I take care of my inner child?
That's that muscle.
Because that is that's the muscle and that's the foundation. Okay, in every area of your life. Okay, but through intimacy, you really, really connect to the healing that you're looking for. Okay, no longer at the loss of self. For there to be real sexual intimacy, because we don't get to just cut the vagina off and the penis off for there to be intimacy over there, which that's the mechanical sexual intimacy that happens a lot when we're not fully connected with ourselves. When they end up going into the bedroom, they bring in this energy, okay? And so then what does sex look like, right? I need to just get out of here, okay? And not even being able to fully be in the moment, present, and enjoying the intimacy. So it's not really pleasurable, okay? And certainly not pleasurable to their entire bodies or their entire being. It's just, I gotta prove myself, okay? So while women on the other end, because of all the misconceptions, it's coming more from that place of I can't the power play, right? I can't really be too into it, or maybe he'll think I'm a whore, or maybe this or maybe that, so many different things that the woman's bringing into the bedroom, right? So for this And women have more guilt, I want to say, men have more anger. Okay, so those are usually the two things. But with this exercise, it's gonna start working in your now that you have the cognitive part. Okay, because you could do this exercise till you break something or other, or fracture something or other. But it's not really going to take you anywhere as good as you feel if you don't have the cognitive part of it, because the cognitive, we live on this planet, so cognitively we've been making up stories throughout our lives. Okay, and if we're wanting intimacy, we need to look at those stories.
Going back to this cycle, right? We all have a certain baseline that we kind of live in, right? And somebody that might be, for example, depressed, right, or uses certain language that kind of reinforces their story, right, ends up going through the cycle and finds subconsciously the things that end up furthering and reinforcing that condition, and basically layering that on top of the pain, on top of the pressures, on top of the stressors, that we have. So it's kind of really important that we start kind of thinking about even the language that we're using, right? Whether it's in the relationship, whether it's with yourself, whether it's to care for yourself, So going back to that inner child, it's a matter of really starting to address the child and start taking care of it in a very positive way.
You being with a certain feeling with yourself of like, this guy needs to approach me, or this guy needs to pay for this, or maybe going out on a date with a guy and having that feeling, right? Maybe you're out on a date with a guy, or maybe you just met him somewhere and you're both having drinks and your drink is on empty, right? There's something a lot of women still do, and there's an expectation, right? Because there's a feeling attached to it, and the misconception first of if this guy likes me, I'm gonna sit around and wait for this magical cup to fill up. When you're doing that behavior, and then maybe the guy is feeling the pressure because he's coming with his own misconceptions, right? And his own, I've been feeling this pressure, right? And I need to prove my manhood
and I
now.
have to be a provider,
right?
and I have to show
so
her.
In that moment, okay, because this shows up in so many different dimensions, in that moment, he's already feeding into, right? This, oh, I'm feeding your expectation, right? So what happens the moment that expectation is not met? Okay?
Disappointment.
Right, disappointment. So the outcome, years later, right? The first 6 months to 2 years, longest that it lasts, as well, and especially if you're not living in the same city, or if you're not living together, that expectation, just that fantasy breaks, right? This person doesn't love me. It's not giving me the security that I need. Okay, so when we start exploring these misconceptions, and they come up in different ways, and it's part of the process of therapy, where a lot of times my clients come in completely unaware of a lot of misconceptions that they have of every area of their life, and they're like, oh no, but I'm a woman, for example. I'm a very independent woman. Like, I don't need a man taking care of me. Where in that in itself, there's a behavior, right? And she's like, but I want you, man, right? But what are your behaviors, right? That she's holding on to this little misconception that if he likes me, he needs to do what, right? He needs to approach me and pay for my things, as independent as I am. So there is a incongruence. Okay, and so there is that behavior and outcome. Okay, so it's, through therapy, I usually take people each week they're exploring these things and really breaking them. That's part of breaking down your belief system while you're recreating others, because something has to be placed. If not, it's your belief system is your life. It's who you are. You can't break it down too quick, which people want to come in and they're like, but no, this needs to be broken today. It's like, no, that wouldn't be loving or graceful, right? It has to be graceful while we replace a healthier one.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
You stay dangling in the air like
Right.
now what?
And there's a lot of pain underneath too. So if we break it too quick, what happens? You destroy the person, right?
They become
It's
such a
destructive.
part of yourself that you need to, this is something,
It's like an automatic
someone
delete.
to commented, you have to say goodbye gracefully. And slowly.
There's a grieving process.
Yeah.
There's a grieving process for the story that you've created, because that story was put into place to be able to take care of that inner child when things became unbearable. But later on in life, those stories aren't allowing you to have those intimate relationships that you're most desiring in your life. So she knew that he, masturbated to porn, okay, like it's time with himself, okay, but for her, like it was this competition with these fantasy women on porn, so whenever they weren't having sex enough, her OCD went into, because he is on the porn and he doesn't love, she would go into making it about her, right? He doesn't love me and he's not attracted to me, not realizing that he's going through his own stuff, maybe, right? And so if she's coming from that place of like, oh, I'm counting, right? And so there were a couple of times that she actually said to him, oh, when they would have sex, here was the other part, when they would have sex, then it would become something that she would say, you need to make me come again. You need to make me come again, right? She felt like she needed to have a lot of orgasms, because she figured if we're having sex enough and I'm having enough orgasms,
He won't look at the porn.
he won't look at the porn,
And this-
right? So coming from that place of pressure, first of all, it's pushing away your partner. And more importantly, when we're talking about connection, right, and bonding, it stops being about connection.
It starts being about the action, not about the connection.
It starts being even more so about the unmet needs,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
The hungry child, going back to the inner child, okay, which is the reason that I'm saying the foundation is working on that inner child for everything else, okay, for every part of your life. In any job that any of you have ever taken seriously and have been committed to, when there's been any level of success, think about what it's taken. Okay, so this looks the same. Okay, it's like depending how much you want to give it, that's how much you're going to get out of it.